wa romankge wena no bona re ka dira yang go hapoga
bile ba re ke ena lawyer a strata
ebile o lawyer a strata
a go fitla gampe go fundamental ke gore a kere mokatisi mo quarantine a tswe a lebegang le bo maleba gore ene setlhopha sa se bonang gore se ka testa dipotse tsa batshameki ba gago ke sefe
a ke re mme o tsentse se tlhokometswe le kepio ke ra gore o na le
Good day. This is Molefhi Kannemeyer Obenne, also known as King MOLF, author of Botswana Football, A Fool's Paradise. You are watching Spectators Line. Please like and subscribe for more videos. I would say this is MOLF, man. MOLF is someone who is self-made. He grew in the streets of Palapa, schooled there for the longest time until I finished my senior school. And then from there I went to South Africa to learn at Monash University, of which after a few years, then I came back to Botswana to work in the corporate governance. But at the same time, I was always like, I'm a football person, and I usually jokingly call myself football, and I must make sure that football is played the proper way, and I try to do a lot of things in order to better the game. Some succeeded, some did not succeed, as already alluded in the book. And then I also have a club in Palapa, it's called Palapa All Stars. I also have a football academy in the same village. We produce a lot of players, young players from the age of 13 until they progress into the senior team. I would say I'm passionate about football. I'm critical about football, and I also write a lot. I write a lot of articles about football, and then at the back of that I was like, maybe I should come up with a book that will talk to what our football is. And the inspiration I got from one book called Soccernomics. As I was reading that book, I was like, why should I read this book, which is foreign to us, and I'm trying to learn something from these guys? Why can't I write something that our own generation here will learn about our football? So Molef is that person who's very curious and who always want to experience things and actually bring things to the fore so that people would say, that's the guy who led the way. I call it the first edition, Botswana Football, A Fool's Paradise. It was more about who Molef is. As a person, as a football entrepreneur, as someone who actually battled, to better the game. And I had to tell a story from my side to say to people, this is what I experienced. And I also trying to guide again the youth or the young ones who are coming behind to say, when you are in the media industry, this is what is going to transpire. When you are an administrator, this is what is going to transpire. When you want to become a player, this is how our environment is. And I was challenging a lot of the media guys to say, what role are you guys playing actually in the game? How are we guiding the game of Botswana football? So I wrote that from my personal perspective, from my personal experience, so that those who don't know, they will understand who Molef is and actually bring Molef as a character in Botswana football and actually ask themselves, can they be Molef or they can be better than Molef? So that's what the first book is talking about. And then I had to throw in, issues around football and the way I understand them, the way FIFA interprets those issues and why some issues have not been closed. People will think things are this way, well, the other way. So the book, it speaks of me as a person and speaks of issues around Botswana football and how I perceive and the opinion that I passed on those issues. Documentation, my man, documentation. We lack in documentation. And what I've realized is in Botswana, mostly we rely on oral history. Someone can ask you about Dipsy Solwan. Let's be honest, Dipsy is rich in terms of Botswana history. Stelu Swan is very rich. David Bright is very rich. But where is the information about these guys? So I said, okay, let me be that epitome of knowledge and tell a story from my side so that people will understand Botswana football from my perspective. Guidance. I wanted to guide, like I said, the youth. I'm into youth development. I do grassroots, and whatever I have experienced in football, it might be the hardships, it might be the bitterness. Someone should draw some positive lessons from what I've experienced. So I need to put all those stories down so that those who come after me will not repeat these mistakes. Those who come after me will learn from this in order to better our football. I would say it took me 2 years. And actually, I had finished the book in the first year. That was in 2018. I had finished it. But there was a lingering question in my head. This lingering question was a question of fear, question of scrutiny, a question of microscope. That I'm taking my life out there and I'm actually taking issues of public interest and general interest about Botswana football. And I needed the bravery. Where you use names of people who are part and parcel of the game. You're like, am I not going to receive lawsuits? Am I going to be labeled as someone who thinks he knows everything? It took me that long to actually come to a decision to say, if I don't tell the story, who will tell the story? If I don't tell the story, what will my kids say about Botswana football? They will be like, you are part of this. What have you done? So let me be the sacrifice. So I became the sacrifice. If I've used your name in the book and you feel maybe it was hard done, I had to substantiate myself again with facts, with research, so that, if someone wants to sue me, I will still say, go to this particular newspaper. Can you ask them to retract the article before I actually take my book off the shelves? So that was my angle. And I had to find that bravery and say, God, I'm invading the unknown. Please guide me.